because as you know, and if you've listened to this before, I realized I was depressed 8 years ago. And it was due to my knowledge of these substances that I managed to hack my own depression. But in that journey, damn, there's a before and after when it comes to David as a presenter. And everyone I meet tells me, before my depression, I was clinical. I was so freaking sharp. I did every skill in the right timing, in the right way, with the right gaze, with the right content. I was clinical. And they loved it. I was still seen as among the best. But after I hacked my depression, what they say is, you feel human. You feel relatable. You feel like you actually care. You feel like you're here for me. And that is what is most important of everything in your life at the moment. To be here for me. And that shift into that is just remarkable, Have you ever seen a presenter in these two states?
Someone that really cares and someone that just presents?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's a massive difference, right?
Yeah. Well, you can definitely feel when someone is passionate about their subject and they live and breathe it and they are emotional about it. Well, then you get emotional about it.
Yeah.
And then you have someone else who is just basically reading it. Dare I say, a politician just reading from their script?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, or news. It's just something that's being presented.
Yeah.
And it's complete differences.
So if we look at this from like levels, we start with level 1. It's just I'm reading the script, either from my head because I've learned the script in my head, or I'm reading it from notes. They're kind of equally as bad. So that's kind of like step 1, step 2, which you're talking about. And then maybe it's step 3, step 4, step 5 is passion. Okay, but it's not step 10. Like step 3, 4, 5 is still you just looking at a person who is filled with themselves and their passion about their subject. And that's contagious. So I'm saying that is way better than step 1, 2. That is like 100% better, 200% better. But it's still not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is a person who truly cares. Like, I freaking care. The person listening to this call will get something out of it. I live and breathe this very moment for that to happen. When I go out on stage these days, I look at my audience and I see just the love for them and what they've missed out and how much they need what I know I can give them. And if I can just give to them in the right way, they will listen and they will use it, and it will impact them. It'll impact their children. It'll impact every person around them. It'll impact the future of the world. And do you see the difference?
Yeah.
And you can't get to that level until you've worked on your own internal communication, because you're just too full of yourself. You're too focused on your own performance. You're too focused on what you're going to do and your script. Yeah, it's learning how to harness your own emotions, self-leadership. So I call this internal communication, which is what I'm now labeled as like the life coach, yada, yada, yada. Internal communication, how you master to communicate with yourself. And then external communication, which is storytelling, death by PowerPoint, 110 steps. If you marry those two, my friend, that's when you become world class. You become 1%, top 1%, and so on.